Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Coming Out Stories from India series. Coming out. What is it? It is a term used primarily in the LGBT community when a queer person shares about their sexual orientation, usually with friends and family. Nicola and I decided to launch these Coming Out Stories from India to ensure we all work together in changing the current narrative. The last few years since my own coming out, I've been looking for role models, stories that can help me in my own journey. There was hardly any, and if at all, not in depth enough. What was common, however, to most was the challenges that we had faced. We also discovered that not all stories are that of pain, suffering, and trauma. This is when Coming Out Stories series from India took shape to bring to our audience real people, real lived experiences, however, keeping in mind the complexities of India. Hopefully, these coming out stories can help pave the way for those who are in any phase of their coming out journey. I'm Raga Olga De Silva, or Totally Out Now, as you know me. Now, today's guest is my youngest guest so far. She's an MTV Roadies contestant, also a biodiversity and inclusion enthusiast, equal rights activist, closely working for the inclusion of LGBTQ plus women, women restarters, people with disabilities, veterans for jobs and corporates. I mean, she's the youngest you see, and look at all the stuff that she's doing. Welcome, Ankita Mehra.
Thank you, Raga. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very glad that I'm a part of this initiative.
Thank you for coming out to us. And what a wonderful pleasure. You're almost as old as my children, and so, I have twins who are 23, and it's absolute pleasure to have someone like you on my show. So, Nicola and I are very grateful that you agreed to this. So, Ankita, will start at the start because your life has been beautiful. I think your life is an example for many of our youngsters on how you should live with a
Mhm.
purpose. So let's start. Tell us a little bit about Ankita Mehra. Where did she grow up? What's your background?
Sure. So, my life journey.
It's okay, it's continue. Continue.
I'm sorry, we
No
just
problem.
have to share. Sorry.
No
So,
problem.
okay, one, two, three, go. Thank you, Raga. So, about me, I have a family of four: my mother, my father, my own sister, and my jiju. My life has been in so many places. So my father is in Air Force, and I had to move to different cities when I was a kid. So I changed every school in 4 years. But during that time, I would say I have met so many people out there, but the woman representation at work was not there. So I have come.
We'll come to that. I just want to talk about your childhood. Tell me more
Okay.
about your family. You said your father was in Air Force, so you come from a North Indian family, right?
Yeah, North Indian family.
So tell us more about your family and what was your upbringing? What kind of environment did you grow in, regardless of which city you lived in?
Okay, so my father is belonging to Punjab, and my mother is also from Punjab. So they got married, and they gave birth to my sister in Bangalore. When he was transferred in Jodhpur, that's the time that he gave birth to me. So I actually grew up in a different city belonging to Punjab, but I used to love going to hometown to Punjab and Pathankot, meet my grandfather. I love the culture out there. So I would say I belong to Punjab, but was raised in all different cities.
So you're a
And
global Indian.
yeah, yeah, North Indian.
So tell me, Ankita, while you were growing up in your house, you said you have your sister, older sister, right? Older
Yeah.
sister, you and your parents living in different cities at that time. How was it for you in the family? Was your
Hmm.
family open-minded, liberated right from the beginning, or were they Punjabis are Punjabis everywhere, right? All of us, we
Yeah.
have Punjabis here in London as well.
Hmm.
Punjabis are quite conservative but open-minded. So how was your family?
I would say that it's a myth that Punjabi families are open-minded. And the conversations with my relatives or my parents was always restricted. We were not able to share any feelings that we had. We can share, yes, Papa, we are happy, but growing up in a family, sharing about your partner, sharing about your feelings was not there actually. So for initially starting to sharing with my sister also, it took a lot of time for me. We were not having that safe space till I was in class ninth. So initially, I used to struggle with everything by my own. I would say my family was not open minded as I thought they are right now, but previously they were not. I couldn't share so many things with them.
Okay, so I'm just going to delve back in because, I also brought up children around the same ages as you, right? And
Mhm.
my parenting style is a little different, maybe because of my own experiences. So I'm just
Mhm.
trying to understand the parenting style. Your parents, mom and dad, dad in the Air Force, which means he's super well traveled, the kind of people that he would meet, the
Mhm.
conversations he would have, interactions would be very different to a normal, 9 to 5 person going to a office, right? And your mother
Mhm.
was a homemaker? Is a
Homemaker,
homemaker?
yes, my
Okay.
mother was a
So
homemaker.
two different people, and you've been brought up in an environment like that. So did you
Mhm.
find that you're saying that you were not able to actually share feelings with your mother?
Yes,
So why
yes.
was that? Why was that?
I would just say that because my mother, I never spoke about all these things with us.
What is all these things?
All these things, as in if a hugging scene or kissing scene is also coming on our television, the first action they will take is to change the channel rather than saying that this exists. Then it generated curiosity for us, and definitely that curiosity we could only share with our friends. But
Sure.
when I go to friends also, I change the city in every 4 year, and I'm coming from that area where my father was the only one who had phone, and the calling was 8 rupees per minute, so we cannot connect with them and share. So we had to restart our life with new friends. So it was quite difficult to share the feelings out there.
So I'm interested in this because you come from what I call modern India, where
Yes.
parenting is quite different. Where these days, when you go online on Facebook, every
Mm-hmm.
person who has a child your age will say, "My kid is not my child. They're like we are like friends."
Mm-hmm.
And we take huge we
Yeah.
take I'm greatly happy about being a parent whose child is a friend. There's nothing I don't know, at least that's what I think. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand the environment when you say that if you're watching television together, a film together, and there is some content shown where somebody is hugging, and I'm assuming could be even a heterosexual couple hugging, or
Heterosexual couple
yeah,
hugging, yes.
even then they are uncomfortable with that thought and they switch the channels. That's what you're
Yes.
saying. So that is
Yes.
why you didn't feel safe to discuss, to talk about your own. So when
Yes.
did you find, discover, or
Mm.
accept yourself?
It was a long journey, Raga. So, first of all, I would like to say that my favorite movie back then was Mehuna. So, Mehuna is a very famous Bollywood movie. There was a character which was Sushmita Sen. So I was a kid when I was watching that character, and I was very attracted towards her. Since childhood, I always wanted short hair. I never wanted long hair. I wanted to. My gender expressions were masculine. I wanted to wear shirts, pants, but still, I used to identify myself as a girl. So I would say it started when I was a kid. I really wanted to wear short pants, or I wanted to have short hair, but I did not have that independence to have it, because after you cross class 7th, you're forced to make choti, and I was actually the one who made chotis as well. I used to go to choti is
Chotis
like
are braids, braids that
yeah, yeah.
girls wear. Yeah.
So you have to have long hair being a Punjabi. You have to fit in the spectrum. Yes, I'm a Punjabi. I should have a long hair. So I would say when I was going through all this, I used to question myself why it is happening with me. And even though you say, Raga, that I come from a modern era, I honestly do not believe that was modern back then, because any whatever feelings that I had, I did not know what to name it, because I'm coming from that time where internet connection or 1 GB data used to cost you 300 rupees in that time. So we cannot afford having an internet that time, and we can search about all these things. I was having crush on same sex person, but my friends were making boyfriends and girlfriends, heterosexual relationships. So I would say I had no friend whom I could go and say that I have a crush on that girl, because apparently I was scared that they will make fun of me. I had no representation. I've never met anyone from the LGBTQ community. I did not even see any series. Like nowadays, if you see that there are Netflix, I did not have that. I just had this cable TV where the whole Bollywood content is definitely heterosexual, and the representation of the trans persons were mostly making fun of them or insulting them. So I was very scared of telling the feelings that I had, but I also was not aware that what exactly I am. So I used to think I'm the only one out there who's feeling this way. I have some disease, or I'm mentally sick, or I had lived with that fear for so many years when I was growing up. But what happened? There was a time I found I was talking to so many people in my school. Then I got to know about someone saying that ladki bhi ladki se pyar kar sakti hai. So in English, a girl can love a girl as well. And I asked my friend, okay, how can you say about that? And she mentioned to me that yes, it happens. So I felt that was a safe space to me for me, and I told my friend that I feel the same. And what happened during that time is she said, okay, but I am not like you, so I'm not interested in you. Just because I shared that I am from, I like the person from the same sex, she felt that I am into her, and I'm actually flirting with her, or I want her in my life. Then I got scared. That actually took me a year of time to actually degrade myself, that this is not right. You should like boys. That was the time I started dating boys as well. Like, there were a few boys in the school. I used to meet them. I wanted to fit and be noticed by people around me, because that is a time you want, have a relationship to be loved, and everyone around you is doing it, and they are being treated so cool. But I was not in that.
Yes. I'm going to interrupt you, Ankita. It's interesting. I'm finding this fascinating because when I was growing up, and that's a long time ago, double your age, as you know,
Yeah.
everything was exactly how you were just describing it. So I'm
Seriously.
thinking, yeah,
Hmm.
so I'm thinking, what has really changed then? In so nothing. I'm actually finding it's very difficult to understand that in modern India, when
Hmm.
Section 377 was being discussed not very long ago, and you're a
Hmm.
young kid. So in
Hmm.
modern India, I'm sorry I'm calling you a kid, but you're a young woman, I should say. Yeah. From my perspective, you're a kid, but you're a young,
You
beautiful
can
young
call me
woman.
kid
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
So so in modern India, what I'm trying to understand is that the schools that you went to, because again, I know that the children of families from Air Force go to really good schools. That even that,
Yeah.
yeah. So even then, the awareness was not there about the LGBTQ conversation, or representation was not there, or that you didn't have access to
Hmm.
information or knowledge that
Hmm.
two girls, two women, two men,
Hmm.
two people of
Hmm.
the same gender, same sex can actually be together. So I'm just trying to understand that, and I'm trying to kind of swallow that and say, okay, so things haven't really changed. So tell me, when you first started understanding, your friend had this conversation with you, you started understanding, and you ran away from it for a year. You said you started dating
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
what point did you then finally accept, and what made you accept?
When I was going through that journey, I felt that I'm not fitting in this box, and I don't have to forcefully do it. And there was a time I used to cry at nights that I cannot share this with anyone. My sister was the one who started talking to me, because during that time when I was trying to date boys, I actually fell in love with my own teacher. And I used to attend all of her classes. I used to follow her. I was never interested in drawing. I started making good art. And my sister used to have doubt. I used to text that teacher, like taking my sister's phone. I did not have my own personal phone, so she used to see that how much I'm into that teacher. And she actually had this idea that, okay, something is happening, like, this is not regular what is happening. So that was a time when actually that teacher hit me. She slapped me, and I was at home and I started crying. She slapped me because of a mistake. I did not maintain my book. So then my sister asked me what happened. So I did not tell her. I just said, I can't share with you. I don't know if you'll be able to understand. And I started crying. So she started saying that, why are you crying? You tell me. I can listen to you. So I shared my feelings with her. And that was the first time I heard a word called lesbian. So I
Wow.
had my sister who told this to me that, Chino, there's nothing wrong in you. You are a lesbian. There are people like that. I said, yeah, I remember my friend mentioning it, but when I told her, she actually took distance from me. So I'm just saying ki, for me, my sister has made me come out, that
So
to know what
interesting.
exactly I am.
So your sister knew the word lesbian, but you did
Yes,
not know the word lesbian.
yes,
So
yes,
basically, at that time, there was awareness. It's just that you were very young to have access to that awareness as well. That's what
yeah,
could be the
yeah,
possibility. I want to know. I want to take you back again to the teacher. You were texting her. You said, and I'm just for the audience. I'm sure you've gathered by now. She's talking about a female teacher. Yeah.
yeah, female
So
teacher.
yeah. So you had a crush on your female teacher. You said you fell in love, and you were sending text messages from your sister's phone. How was your teacher's reaction to that? Did she ever ask you to come and meet her and talk to you about it?
No, that never happened. So my teacher just used to think. There's a long story about that teacher also, but teacher used to think that I am really inspired by her art, and I really want to make her my friend. Just because I did not have anyone close to me to share everything. So that was my teacher. She thought that I found a friend in her, but because she was also not aware, I spoke with her once I came out, and she said she was not aware of this. She always treated me like a beta. Acha. Like the way you give love to a son or a daughter, she used to do the same with me. She was not aware of that. And I studied in a school which was CBSE. So CBSE is the biggest board in India, and it's very advanced that they say. And I've studied in a school called Kendra Vidyalaya and multiple schools around India. And there was no representation about queer stories or queer. There was not even one trans teacher that I had. There was one trans teacher I remember in class 11th I saw, but teachers and students used to call him Chakka Hijra, like, and that was the only explanation to his feminine side of it. So I would just say that even though they have hired a trans dance teacher, but still they all were not sensitized, and after a point he left the school. That is the only representation I know.
Sure, sure.
So
That's very interesting, Ankita. I just want to come back to your that story about. So I'm going step by step by step because I'm sure the audience would love to know because I'm really curious now. So you
mhm.
told your sister how what is the age difference between the two of you?
4 years, four
4 years.
years,
And which city were you in when you had this crush on the teacher?
Pathankot.
Pathankot. Okay. So do you want to tell the audience a little bit about Pathankot so they know
Okay,
where? Yeah.
okay. So Pathankot is a small town in Punjab. Pathankot comes in the border of Himachal and Punjab, and there was a very like how Pathankot became famous. I'm sorry for having this negative conversation here, but some terrorist entered in Pathankot Air Base also. That is the city I'm talking about. It happened in 2000, 2017, 15, I guess. But it's a very good city, a very big Air Force base, and a very good, beautiful view also because it is on the border of Punjab and Himachal, and it is very nearby from Amritsar also. So that is
So
that is what I'm talking about.
Pathankot basically is little, it's conservative anyway, right?
Conservative,
Because
I
yeah,
would
it's
say.
conservative. So in that environment, I can understand. So when you told your sister, you came out to your sister and you shared your feelings, and she gave it a name,
Hmm.
lesbian. You know,
Hmm.
I don't know about you, but in my generation, the word lesbian one didn't exist. And when it started existing, it was like calling somebody homo. It was so, there was so much of derogatory comments around the word lesbian, or the
Hmm.
name itself stood for represented, oh, like how they call chakkas or hijras, sadly. So
Hmm.
lesbian was also had a very negative connotation. So when you
Hmm.
heard the word lesbian, your sister called you lesbian. Tell me, go back to that moment and tell me how did you feel inside?
I felt that what is it like really she knows about this, and I was very happy. I needed that validation for me that yes, you exist and there are others like you also who exist and you're not the other one. So first it was a very big relief. Second, then I had the curiosity that why I'm like this. First I was happy that yes, my sister understands. Then I was sad that why I'm like this, because as you also mentioned in so many talks, Raga, that you are also homophobic. I had my own space of being homophobic for 4 years. Even I knew that I'm a queer person. So my sister was there for a support, but as she was not having so much of knowledge in this area, but she actually gave me a name. Then I had to figure out things myself.
So did
um,
so did she at any point tell you that don't worry, I understand you, I will support you, or you understood that she supported you? Did
she
she say it
supports
in words?
she
And
supported me.
okay, and did she say don't tell your parents, or did she say let's talk to the parents?
She said that you have me. We never thought, personally. I never thought I'll talk to parents because we never had that space, to be honest. So
Mhm.
I had everything when I had my sister. I had everything. I did not even think of going or taking any next step because that was everything for me that time. And yeah, going ahead, when I knew about my orientation, and my father also got a smartphone for my sister. Then I we started reading some stories. We started knowing about this. I connected with so many queer people. With from 11th to 12th, when I was in 11th or 12th, I connected with so many queer people in India. But they all had so many stories. Someone said that they got accepted. They were only 10% who said they got accepted, and 90% of them were still closeted and still being worried, and some of them were going through abuse at home as well, like mental torture at home as well. So I was very planned. I would say that coming from a middle class family, I you always need to plan things. There will be no one who will support you. You don't have a lot of money in your pocket. You just need to have a plan. So I would say my sister was a plan for me. We planned together that when to come out, how to come out. So I think that discussion can be your next step. I'm just saying that
Yeah, sure,
my
sure.
sister's
I'm
support was everything for me that time.
excellent. This is what the audience watching should understand, that all of us need a safe place, whatever you call
Yes.
it. And that
Yeah.
is not a physical space. It is in the form of another person. Some people call themselves allies. But this is
Hmm.
it. It could be your parent, it could be your best friend, it could be someone you don't know, but someone needs to make us feel safe, accept, non judgmental. All you have to do, and I always say this, Ankita, in all my talks, is just hold someone's hand when they come out to you. Because like Ankita, she's a new generation queer person, yet she had to go through not only her own discovery process, her own homophobia that we talked about, but also now you have to talk to your parents. Remember, it's a big thing. And you know that if your parents don't accept you, this is it. How do you then deal with something like that? Although she had a sister's support. Now I want to know, what was the plan? It sounds like little Bollywood and filmy to me.
I agree. So the plan which we made when I was in high school, my sister said that once I get a job, my sister get a job, then I have a backup, which is her. Even if I come out, if I'm unable to handle things, she will be my backup. The second was, if I'm able to control some things, like I can live in that box. I can come out once I have a job. That was our plan, and I found it very practical because the stories that time was going on around conversion therapy. The stories from there out going out, like people threw their kids out. There were kids living in shelter, and there's so many stories. And that time section 377 was there, so it was actually adding on to so much of anxiety. So I thought, until and unless I'm not established, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna let that happen. So I would say till 10th or 11th, I was a very very stupid kid. I never used to study a lot. But until and unless I got this push that I need to stand for myself, in class 11th, 12th, first year, second year, third year, I topped. I topped my school. I topped my wrote good exams. I also I went to a good college. I got an admission in the good college, and I went to KK Wag College. Then in the college journey, even though I was facing so much of bullying and judgments because of my gender expressions, still I managed to top all these exams. So the plan was just to have a backup.
So
Until then, my sister was having also figuring out to get a better job and establish in her life herself.
again, Ankita, what you're bringing up is something that is very close to my heart. I
Hmm.
always say to all, when I mentor people, I always tell all the women folks in particular that it
Hmm.
is so important to be financially
Hmm.
independent, because
Hmm.
that is what gives us the strength and the freedom and the opportunity to live our lives the way we want, right? Make our own choices.
Yes.
I'm Please don't mind. I'm just going to go back in and out, okay, of your journey,
Please go ahead. Please,
because
please.
I think it's important for us to understand the complexities of India and
Hmm.
complexities of a queer person's life, even the
Hmm.
younger person. Like, I mean, I'm really amazed actually to hear what all you've been through. You talked about bullying, so I want to know
That happened.
whether even in school you were bullied, because I'm
Hmm.
sorry, I
Yeah.
don't have that photograph for some reason, but I saw your photo of a younger self with longer hair, and for some
Yes.
reason I know the audience watching somehow have these preconceived notions that women with long hair are straight and women with short hair possibly more, and what they call as butch, or the gender expression is masculine, are more have a tendency to be lesbians. I mean, we have all these things, and bases are hair also. And I can tell you, bases are hair. I talk from experience. People judge and people bully. So your younger days, I've seen longer hair. Then I've now you talk about shorter hair. So tell me about that. So were in school you were not bullied, but in your college you were. And
In
why?
school, I was bullied. I
You were
was
bullied in
bullied.
school as well.
Yeah, by
Okay,
my
tell us more
teachers
about it.
only. By my teachers only. Now,
Please
if I
tell
if
me.
I'm going to talk about it, when I was in Pathankot, I even though I had long hair and my gender expressions were little masculine, and I used to hang out with boys more than girls, because I used to fit with them more, and I did not like to talk in a feminine way with anyone. So I used to hang out with boys. So teachers thought that just because I want attention from boys, I am being like this, and I want to involve in their group, I'm being like this. My teacher directly called me in the staff room and said, "अपना लफंगागिरी बंद कर, लड़कियों जैसा रहना शुरू कर दे, like stop being like this, don't do for attention, don't seek attention of people, just start living like a girl." These were the lines that the teacher used at me. She started micromanaging and micro noticing me every time, and I'm not exaggerating this. I was so depressed to just go to school because of a few teachers. They made a gang. If you're not fitting in the box for teachers, then they are going to get against you. I still talk about it, and talking about it right now gives makes me angry that even though I did not do anything wrong, I did not do anything wrong at all, you are micromanaging me and you are thinking that I'm a wrong girl just on the basis of my gender expression. So that those group of teachers, even though I'm going to the washroom, they used to stop me in middle. "Kahan ja rahe ho? Where are you going? Go back to the class." Every time I was noticed. And just imagine studying in a school where every time you are noticed by your teachers. Students though I can handle because they're of my age, but teachers, when they got involved, I was so upset. And I was so happy that in class 10th my father got posted from Pathankot, and I went to a school where in my class there were only 15 students, so I did not have to deal with so many students, and my dedication was only studies. There, I would say, to be honest, I faked. I had long hair. I started wearing feminine clothes because I wanted to be included. I thought that let's keep it in a box for a while. Let us focus on the career and a good college. Let us not get involved there. So I started becoming feminine, and I would say I was not happy in that space.
Okay, so
I was.
did you ever go to your parents and inform them about how the teachers were behaving or bullying you?
I would say yes. My father wanted to come to school, but I was so scared of teachers that once my father brings as a complaint, then again more attention will come to me. It will be like a fight. And I also knew that my father is going to get transferred in just 6 7 months. Why not handle them and just leave? Because see, in school you do not, because there were so many teachers, Raga. It was not even one that I can point fingers on. There was a vice principal of that school. The head of the school was also involved in one. Even though I'm standing with the boy next to reading a newspaper with them, they think that I want to date them. They did not even think that why I'm standing, because I feel comfortable with him.
Yeah, I think
Coming from India, where talking to a boy that time, and even this time talking to a boy and making a friend who's a boy, who's opposite gender, even though your sexual orientation is not out, they think that you have something going on.
it
There is
it
no
is
concept of friendship here.
it
There's
is
no
narrow
concept of.
mindedness, right, of a
Yes,
society, and that is also what we talk about. That is what we're talking about is social conditioning,
yes.
because of which we have to go through the journeys that we go through, Ankita, right?
Hmm.
So coming back, and I want to talk about bullying a little bit more. When you say that you were bullied in college, I want the audience to understand in what ways can people bully you.
Hmm.
So just share
Uh,
a bit more.
okay. Already spoke about my school, my college. So when I went to college, I told my sister that my sister was about to get a job. So I told my sister that I can't live with the long hair. Look, it is very, very, very terrible. I don't feel that it's me. To be on, I would just say I'm a lesbian girl. My pronouns is she and her, but my gender expression is not feminine. So my sister asked me why it is troubling you. I said, no, I don't fit in. So she said, do you want to be a boy? I said, no, I just want short hair. I don't fit in the long hair. I really hate it when I see myself in the mirror. So my sister said, okay, you want short hair? Let's go and get it. So she told my mother that we are going to get this short. But when we ended up coming home, so we took steps, okay, Raga. So first I did a cut till this, then little short, then completely short. So I had three stages to reach wherever I wanted to reach because I had long hairs. Then from level one was these many hairs, level two and level three complete. good short
So it's
hair.
called sensitization, slowly, right?
Yeah,
Even at your
slow
own
sensitization.
home. Yeah, slow,
Yeah,
that gradual. It is how it should be
yeah,
anyway. It shouldn't be, but
yeah.
this is how it should be as well.
And that was
Slowly.
my sister's plan, by the way. So she said, "You want it? I know my mama is not gonna get ready because my hair was really, really long. I'll send the picture. My hair was really, really long, but had to do it in stages because even the one who was cutting my hair, he cut his hand while cutting my hair because he was very nervous that why is she cutting her hair short. So giving up
So,
a hair, being a Punjabi girl, it's a big thing. It's
so
a
what
very
happened at college?
yeah, so when I went to college, I had short hair, and our dress was pant and shirt. So when I went to college, people thought that I'm a boy. So that happened in college, and I started having became little confident about myself. I started accepted me, but in a closed group, not in front of a lot of people. So in a closed group, I had a few friends with whom I actually spent 3 4 months. Then I trusted them. Then I shared my orientation. But initially, the second day in my college when I went in, someone got to know that there's a girl who is dressing up like a boy. So a group of men, 4 to 5 senior male, students who came and said, औकात में रहे. I don't know how to say in English. Just be in your limits.
Yeah.
Go and dress like a girl. Go ahead and dress like a girl. यहाँ पे छक्की गिरी नहीं चलेगी. That
Yeah,
was the
so
word.
the word, sorry for the audience, so outside of India, the word chakka, or the word hijra is used for, sadly, as a slur for transgender community. So whenever, people like us, queer folks come out or they think that we are queer, they actually put us in the same box, like a hijra or a chakka, just to show that how they feel about us. So Ankita was told by her classmates, 4 men, that she has to be within a limit and that she cannot behave like a chakka.
Yeah. So they use that word, and then they came so close to me, like, do not forget that I'm a female. Do not forget I have a space. That person came so close to me, and he was like, "कल से सही होके आना और यहाँ पे ज़्यादा लोगों से involve होने की जरूरत नहीं है. From tomorrow, be in your limits and do not engage with so many people here. Do not think that you're very cool." And that scared me that it was my second day of college. A group of male students are just coming and behaving very badly with me. But still, Raga, I did not lose it. I did not lose it. I said, what else I can change? My hair is already cut, shirt, pant is gender neutral. I cannot make this shirt a little girly. I'll go as it is. If they want me to not interact with so many people or don't want me to, be so out about myself, let me just stay quiet and just study. And that's where there were so many seniors in between. They used to just come and just pass the comments on me. I have faced that. And when I started coming out a little more in my college, in that college people stopped talking to me. Girls are not feeling safe in my space, as if I just want to date them or kiss them or harass them, because that is the image that people have about us. Just because we are queer, we do not have the authority to harass people. That I want to really keep it clear in front of everyone. But sadly, in India, you have to, if you come out in a tier one or tier two, because Nasik is a tier one city. In tier one or tier two city, you do not have any sensitization, even 0% sensitization you see there. The only thing they see in you is that this girl is a lesbian. That becomes your identity. And let's not go and talk to her. But I was glad that I had a small group of people who always supported me, few of my friends who saw me as a person I am. And during this bullying, it actually made me go in a very negative zone that this is going to my journey for throughout my life. I've been fighting. You just imagine a kid is born, then after they realize that they're different, then they have to fight with each and every circumstances every day. I was already done. First stage was I was already done with my teachers in Pathankot. Second stage, I was already done with me having long hair and trying to be girly. And the third stage was, even though I cut my hair short, even though I started feeling good, still I'm not fit. So these continuous harassment, depression, and misjudgments happened in my life. And I would say that was the continuous bullying that I had.
So how many years did you spend in college?
3 years.
So 3 years of college, you went through all this and you still topped, right? And which is,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
congratulations. And
Thank you.
I love that part of it. It is very important for us to know that purpose is important. All of us need purpose. And Ankita, looks like you found your purpose. and you were very disciplined and focused on achieving whatever you wanted to achieve. And it is, to me, it is quite shameful what you've been through. And it is sad that the queer folks go through that. And I hope the audience watching can understand behind this smiling face that there is a lot. The journey has not been easy either. Even at Ankita's age, our journeys are very difficult. And I want us to know that there is passive homophobia, there is active homophobia, there are kinds of homophobia. At any point in time, we need to feel safe, and I keep using this word. Love, acceptance, and all will come, but please make us feel safe. Intimidation is what you just talked about when some of these four young men came to you and pointed a finger at you. That is called
Mm.
intimidation. Now,
Yeah.
intimidation is a very, very, very challenging thing to go through. For a
Mm.
young person, you imagine the fear the person feels every day they have to walk into that space. Every
Mm.
day they have to focus on their energies on studying so that they can become self independent, right? And to
Mm.
go through this. So I hope that nobody actually has to go through this kind of a journey, Ankita. I hope the younger generation listens to this and allows us to be the teachers, the parents, our support network, allies. Listen to this and say, Ankitas of the world need to be felt safe, need to be made safe, because your focus should be on education. Your focus should be on living life. Why should
Mm.
it be on this kind of intimidation and bullying and
Mm.
acceptance, right? So my coming back to your coming out journey, it's so interesting. I really am loving discovering you, Ankita. So now you're going as per plan with your sister,
Mm.
and you have got the structured plan. So I
Yeah.
want to go back, and then at what point did you come out to your parents? And did
Mm.
was that public one that happened on television, or did you actually come out to them
Sure.
privately first?
Sure. This is a very interesting thing I want to share. When I was done with everything, there was a point, a saturation point comes in everyone's life where you're done trying, you're done explaining, you're done accepting yourself. What else you have to lose? And I was going in a very depressed stage of my life. I suddenly got a call from Rodis, and they said that Ankita, because I was out somewhere in on social media where I blocked my family members. I was out somewhere on social media, and that's why they said that why don't you come and share your story? But I said I'm closeted. They said why don't you come and attend the show at least. So I went and stood in the line. I went to the judges. I made from 14,000 people. They selected six people to meet the judges, and from six, three got selected. I was one of them. I thought one thing that this is the right time. Why? Because who bullied me a lot? The youth bullied me so much, and I had expectation from my youth time that we should at least be educated, we should at least do some, because that time, even though you are bullying in college, you still have smartphones, right? You still have Netflix, you still have so many things. Why still it did not go to your brain? It's normal. So that was a time for me. It was like win or lose. I said I can utilize this opportunity to sensitize youth on a larger group. And just take an example: if Ranvijay's fan, who's a homophobic, Ranvijay is a judge in this show, and he's very famous in India. He's a youth icon. So if Ranvijay fan is homophobic and Ranvijay is coming me and hugging me and supporting me, don't you think that fans' mindset will change? Oh, my influencer supports it. I should also support this. So there were like five influencers in that show. First one was Neha Dhupia. She's a Bollywood actress and she has a very big fan base. Prince is one of a judge who has youth support. He has a lot of followers from the youth in Punjab. The third one was Harbhajan Singh. He's a cricketer and he's playing for India. He's a very big influencer. Then Nikhil Chinappa, he's also a youth influencer. So these were the folks who have come to me and they started talking to me. And I actually said that I'm not going to fake on that platform. You are standing in front of them and a bigger, larger audience. And I utilize that opportunity to actually come out and sensitize people and tell them how much bullying I've faced, how many things I've gone through. When I said that, they gave me a grand salute, they hugged me, and the shooting happened in the month of November of 2016. But I did not come out to my parents at all. I came out of the show, like they got selected, then show things started happening. But I thought that my parents should know before me because I was in a final year of college, and January I got an offer letter from a company from my college campus placement. So I realized this is the best time. But I was also very depressed, Raga, because of that saturation point. I was suicidal. I was very depressed. So I started, planning to kill myself. Even though I came out, I thought that that was not enough because my depression was getting heavy on my head. That was a plan. I actually thought of ending my life, and I'm not saying that just because of this. I'm saying because it happened. I was living alone in Nasik. My father and mother was in Nagpur. My father got transferred in Nagpur. I was living alone in Nasik because I had 3 years of course. Um, I started looking at fan and I said that, let's do it. There's nothing. I actually wrote a suicide letter also. But when I started trying to do it, the only face that I can imagine was my mother's crying face. No matter what has happened in my life, my mother and my father gave the best from their end. They loved me so much. They never stopped me doing anything. They let me live the life of my on my own way. They gave me the privacy. They gave me every possible thing that an Indian middle class family can give to you. I said they deserve to know. They should know. And the same time I removed that chunni, I was like, leave that. I called my best friend. I'm not in a better state. Please come home. So he came to my home, and then I told him I want to go home. He dropped me to the bus stand, and this next bus I took, like in a short notice of 3 hours, I went to Nagpur, because if I would have been in that room for so long, I would have actually taken a step which was not right. After going to Nagpur, I told my father one thing: I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling fine. And I was so happy that the support my father gave me in mental health. He actually started taking me to therapists, like what is happening. So there was one therapist who actually was a homophobic person. I came out and I said about the whole thing about my life. And in between, I forgot to mention Raga. My partner left me because my partner was scared of coming out to the parents, and I also lost a partner I had for 3 years. So I was not in a very good zone. I lost my partner. I was very depressed. I was not having anything right, and I went to Nagpur, met therapist, and there was one therapist who said that, you are not right. You should try with a guy. There are homophobic therapists exists in India, and that is true. That happened, and that happened with me. Please listen, everyone out there. There are homophobic therapists, and that person heard my story and said that, don't worry, I'll not tell anything to your father, but I would like to give a solution to your father. The next thing that they did is, why don't you send your daughter to my my, what do you say, center. We will treat her for 11 days. She'll be fine. She'll be completely fine. And indirectly that person sold conversion therapy to my father. My father was like, why my daughter has to go to some center? What is wrong with you? Then I came home and I started crying. I said, I am not happy, Papa, but with whatever happened there, I really don't want to go there. Please don't take me to that therapist. So my father took me to a better inclusive therapist, and I came out to that therapist, and that was a good inclusive therapist. And he said that, why don't you tell your father what is stopping you? Why are you being so hurt? You're a topper. You have achieved so much. You're so dedicated. You have never insulted anyone. You have respected your parents. And right now also you are tense just because whatever you are, you will get your parents into that stage. Why are you being worried? Take stand for yourself. So I came back to Nasik. I wrote the 16 pages letter because I knew if I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to cry and I'm going to skip so many things. So I wrote about each and every chapter of my life: bullying in school, teachers, classmates, how I spent my nights, endless nights, how I lost my partner. This is real. So I gave that letter to my father a day before Mumbai Pride. We met in Mumbai because it's nearby Nasik and Nagpur. We met in Mumbai a day before Mumbai Pride, and that was my first Pride ever. I wanted to go to my first Pride being me. So I gave that letter to my father. We were sitting in a tapri. So tapri is like a hut in Maharashtra where you have tea. It was on an open road. So I gave that letter to my father and I said, Papa, this is for you. I'm sorry for doing this, but I cannot handle this anymore. My father like, what you cannot handle? Let me read it. So it took 45 minutes to read that letter, but for 45 minutes I had continuous anxiety. I might not be seeing him as my father. Maybe he will throw me out of the house. Maybe I don't have any space to live. Then my sister I kept texting my sister. She said, "Don't worry, I'm here. I'm working. You come to Bangalore if we throw you out. I'm there for you." So I had a backup also, and I had nothing to lose. I had a job also because I got a job in Bangalore. My father took 45 minutes, and that 45 minutes reminded me how much fear I have to be rejected from my family, and I never want to get into those 45 minutes of my life. When my father finished the letter, he was crying and he hugged me. He said, "So I said that, Papa, are you going to, leave me? Please don't leave me. I love you, Mama, and you and Mama a lot. I worked this much just to make you feel proud." So my father said that, "You are my daughter no matter what. I will always support you." I said, "Okay, Papa, that is a very good thing." And I started crying. So he said, "I have a question. Do you want to be a boy?" I said, "No, Papa, I'm a lesbian. I am a girl and I want to, sexually or romantically involve with a girl only. I want to get married to a girl." So he said, "Okay, isme kya hai? It's okay." And I was like, I was living in the fear from so many years that how my father is going to react. And he was super casual. And I was so surprised coming from a tier two city. He can be so accepting. He never saw anything beyond their own daughter.
Ankita, what a beautiful story. I'm just captured by
Yeah.
it. But first of all, I have to say that I'm really sorry that you had to go through what you had to go through with mental health. And the audience watching, please understand it's a very dark place that these kind of the fears that we have put us into. And all of us have been through this journey. I have been through a similar journey. Your journey. I receive messages every morning when I wake up. I dread
Hmm.
to open my phone. It's not just because of the pandemic that we're going through, also because the dozens of emails and messages I receive from young people or older people who are trapped within
Hmm.
themselves. They're so fearful of coming out to themselves, to maybe their partners, or to their families. Some of us have had to get married and
Hmm.
still live a shackled life. So your
Hmm.
story represents to me that the younger generation is also going through
Face.
similar journey to what I've been through. We should not be going through this journey. Now it should be accepted. But also what it made me realize, Ankita, that a lot of us live in so much of fear of our own acceptance, our own homophobia, right? Internal homophobia, that we fear if we came out to our parents, what will happen? So you spend years and years in fear. Maybe those years were not really required. Your father would have accepted
Yeah.
you, or
Yeah.
maybe that was the right time. You don't know. But you touched upon a very interesting topic, which is again very dear to my heart, which is conversion therapy. Nicola and I talk about it. We are going to have conversations around it. We are talking to people from India and internationally to have a full segment, a full 2, 3 segments on conversion therapy. Now, people watching, please understand that conversion therapy is exactly similar to what happened to Ankita. You go to somebody, you go to a therapist, or you go to a religious person. Your parents will take you, thinking that they will find a solution for a cure, the disease that we have apparently, and we get given solutions. And the solution typically is either a medical intervention or it is a religious intervention. And they're not pleasant, they're archaic, they're barbaric, they're inhuman, and it still exists. We know of
Hmm.
many cases where people are put into what you call psych units or mental institutions and also sometimes given shock. What you
Yeah.
see in movies is for real. It happens. Stop it. We cannot be converted. It is not something that will change. Please allow the person the safety and the space to be who they are, to accept themselves. When we as a society accept ourselves, that's when people like Ankita and I will live our lives freely. I'm really sorry that you had to go through all this, Ankita, in today's time. I'm talking 2016 is just like last year, right?
Hmm.
And it's not last year, but it is like last year. So, it's interesting. So, what happened? We don't have much time, but I want to know what happened with your mother then. How did your mother come
Okay.
around?
Okay, very good story as well. So first, I want to say 27th of January, 27th is my birthday. So please do not forget to wish me on my birthday because that was a time I actually became the real me. My father told me that my mama will take some time to accept it. So my father slowly started giving her hints that there are things like this, there are people like this. So that whole headache, I kept it on my father. My father said, "Don't worry about mama, I'll take care of it." And he actually took care of it. He slowly sensitized her. My mother was very scared of social pressure. Then from I would actually say, this COVID time has helped me to reconnect with my mother. So last year COVID time, I went to my home and I actually cried in front of my mom. Mama, do you think that this society means more to you than your own daughter? How much I have done to make you feel proud? And I'm not saying because I have done something you should accept me. You should love me because I'm your daughter. And I cried. My mama also started crying and she said that, Beta, I'm not actually worried. I'm just worried what will happen to you. Like, it's the marriage is not legal. What who will take care of you after me? I said, Anshu is there, na? Yeah, the Anshu will also get married. She's already married and now she will have her own priorities. I said, Mama, I don't need anyone else. I know even if we cannot get married, I will find someone who will love me despite of being bonded in a legalized relationship. So I took my time for 2 3 months to sensitize her, and now my mother is fully accepting. And once I had the whole family in hand, I have nothing to lose. I am not worried of anyone, and that is the reason that they made me the person that I am today. And that's why that gave me the courage to work towards the community and be as vocal as possible to share the story with so many people out there.
I love your story. It's such a story of, it's a journey. All of us have challenges, but it's such a story of magic
Mm,
when families accept us. Look at your face, your smile, the kind of work that you're doing in the community, for the community, from your own experiences. It is how the narratives will change. Ankita, this is why we have these coming out stories from India series. Because like you said, parents, the first thing when you go and come out to your parents, they get scared. Their biggest
mm,
fear is, what will society say?
mm,
Second biggest fear is, what will happen to you, because they
mm,
somehow believe that if you're from the queer community, that
mm,
you are going to be alone. No, no,
mm,
no, no, no. Parents, please listen. You don't have to be alone. I have been with my same gender partner for 14 and a half years. We've brought up children together. Our children are 23 years old. We live a regular life. I have been married. I was married for many, many years. So I live a quite similar life to what I lived in a heterosexual life as well. I live a better life actually, because I totally
you're
love my
happy in them.
partner. Yeah, and totally, I do, and I'm with somebody I really want to be, not because it was arranged for me and that I have to be with somebody,
Yeah.
So love is love, really. So that acceptance, if our families give us, and if we give the families that assurance that don't worry, that
Mm-hmm.
we will have a regular life. I mean, that's what they want to know. See, what does a parent want? The parent wants to see that their child is settled, as they say in India, settled, happy. People ask me, "Are you have children, but you're a lesbian?" I want to tell the parents, biology is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can have children. Ankita can have children if she wants to. Biologically, she can have children. She can choose to adopt a child. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ankita's life is not going to be any different to what you had planned for her. It will only be better and more magical because she is living the life of her choice. And
Mm-hmm.
Ankita, before we end, I just want to know, what is your message to the youth of today?
My message to youth for today is, please hang in there. I know there are so many negative factors or rejections which is coming onto your way. Do not stop believing in yourself. Do not stop that there will be no end to it. Everyone has an end to it. There will be a right time for everyone. I lived with for my acceptance from last 24 years and still I'm fighting for it. But it actually looks like a magical journey right now because of the support. It's not always important that you should have the support of your family. You can have your chosen family, right? Have a chosen trusted family, because we from the community are there for each other. Try to bring that space, that allyship. I can never imagine what my life would have been if my sister was not there for me. And I that she's the luckiest gift from the God to me. So if my God have made me this person which I am today, is all because of the sister that the God has given me. I'm not gendering the God has given me. So I would have this small message: hang in there. Nothing is going to lose. There will be the end of this tunnel, and in a positive way. Do not feel low. If you are feeling low, please feel free to reach out to NGOs near you. In India, there are so many NGOs like Harmless Hugs, Humsafar Trust, who have free helpline numbers for you to seek some mental health as well, mental health support as well. So that is the only message. Please take care of yourself and happy Pride Month.
Wonderful. Ankita, what are your social media handles?
My LinkedIn, if you would search Ankita Mehra, that will be the first suggestion you will get. My Instagram is Ankita Mehra with double A, and Facebook you can search with Ankita Mehra only. So if you search with Ankita Mehra, I'll be in first suggestions in all the three platforms.
I've had a fantastic, wonderful conversation. When we met for the first time, we met online, right? We haven't yet met in person. I was fascinated by your journey anyway. I've read about you and I was fascinated. Today, I feel that having this conversation with you has made me even more aware. And I really hope that the youth of today, who I have huge amount of love and respect for, because for
Mm,
some reason, my fan following is very young, 18, 19, 20-year olds. I appeal to them. Maybe they
mm,
see the mother in me that who makes them feel safe. I don't know. But that
mm,
youth who shows me so much of a love and respect, please be allies to us. Please make sure that you show love and respect to everybody, no matter who, what our orientation is, what the choices that we make
mm,
are. It is through your love and support and your awareness and your education to all of us that we will become safe, this society will become safe, and the new society that we are creating, that we are changing the narrative, will become a safer place for all of us.
mm.
And I want to thank you so much, Ankita, again for sharing so openly and so beautifully. And I wish you all the best. I hope to see the changes happening alongside you.
Thank you, Raga. One last message: if you're from the LGBTQI community, or and you know someone from the community who is struggling to have a job, they can directly reach out to me because upskilling them. I'm also providing them jobs in inclusive organizations. So feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Raga.
Fantastic. This is most needed. And at this point, I'm going to have to end. Thank you, Nicola, for your support in the back and helping bring all of this together. And audience, thank you very much. You can have post comments here. We will give you our responses. Any feedback, do write to us at theviewsroom@gmail.com. And thank you again for joining in. Please remember to follow me at Totally Out Now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I keep life very easy. And do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Raga Olga de Silva. There are many such very interesting coming out stories, and we're going to keep bringing them so that we can change this narrative one story at a time. Remember, closets are for clothes and not to hide your truth. Come out of that closet. Signing out at Totally Out Now. But before I go, Ankita, you're going to get a small gift hamper, a beautiful gift hamper from the Herbal Theory. I hope you'll be able to enjoy that. And
Thank you.
audience, you're watching Today with Totally Out Now, presented by the Views Room. Thank you very much again.